Star Wars 7x7 episode 2996. Normally we wait until Saturday to do one of the What to Watch Now episodes, but something's happening on Saturday and I wanted to give you an early heads up about it because it looks to be absolutely awesome. It is the 3rd annual Podathon live stream and we're going to talk all about it today. Punch it! Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy. And thank you so much for joining me for it. So if you haven't heard of Podathon yet, well, I'm very glad to be the first to tell you then what the deal is with it. So this is the 3rd year that Podathon is happening. So here's the official details about what Podathon is. So from their most recent press release, it says, conceived by noted podcast hosts, writers, and producers Pete Fletzer and Scotty Jarrow in 2020 as a way to raise money for Make-A-Wish at the height of the pandemic. Podathon is a virtual fundraising event that features more than a dozen of the top YouTubers and podcasters in the Star Wars fandom. There's a quote from Pete. He says, the Star Wars community is made up of some of the most generous people I've ever met, and the opportunity to leverage the reach of some of the best creators to make money for charity is a natural synergy for good. Now, if I saw the numbers right, they raised more than $2,000 in 2020. They raised more than $8,000 in 2021, and their goal this year is to raise $10,000 for Make-A-Wish. And I'll post the links in the show notes for this show's episode and at the blog post for the show's episode at sw7x7.com for where the live stream is going to be hosted. It's going to be hosted on Pete's Around the Galaxy podcast YouTube channel and also at thepodathon.com, the website for the whole initiative. And listen to this lineup. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I'll tell you who's on and who they're partnered with podcast-wise. So Christopher Sean, who was the voice of Kaz Ziono in Star Wars Resistance, he's partnered with the Tatooine Sons podcast. Matt Martin is with Coffee with Kenobi. Zoraida Cordova is with the Night Sisters podcast. Christina Ariel is with Pink Milk. They're going to have a Star Wars trivia segment in the midst of all this. Then Kristen Baver is going to be with Tarkin's Top Shelf. Kelly Knox is going to be with Kanata's Castle. Mike Chen is going to be with What's Glup. Charles Sewell will be with Broaxium. Phil Shostak will be with the podcast of the Wills. Gary Whitta will be with Followers of the Force. The cast of Andor, so Diego Luna, Genevieve O'Reilly, Kyle Soller, and Adria Arjona are going to be with Father-Son Galaxy. And then Seth Green with the Bombad cast, Ryan Johnson with Octo Radio, yes, that Ryan Johnson, and Shelby Young with Around the Galaxy. And there's going to be a closing ceremonies after that with Jordan Hembrow, who does the Our Star Wars Stories show that shows up on YouTube for Star Wars. Yes, he's going to be hosting a whole closing ceremonies thing, and there'll be a raffle of fabulous prizes and whatnot. So this sounds like it's going to be a fantastic, amazing day. I personally am bummed that I'm not going to be around during the day on Saturday to be able to check it out as a live stream, but I am very excited to be able to check it out after the fact. And what an incredible initiative. And for a 3rd year, my gosh, the lineup is just absolutely incredible, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. So like I said at the top, I will have links for what Podathon is all about and where you can watch it on a live stream, or eventually if you're going to be like me and have to catch it after the fact, like all of that will be at the blog post for the show's episode at sw7x7.com and in the show notes as well. And if you are able to donate to the cause, then may I highly recommend that you do that, and I will have links to where you can go donate to that Make-A-Wish drive as well. The Make-A-Wish organization is just such a fabulous cause, does beautiful work in this world, and I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to contribute to this campaign as well. So that's what I've got for you today on the podcast. Do check out Podathon 2022. Again, links will be everywhere that you need to find them, and that is going to do it for this episode of the show. It just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for it as always, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.
7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.